So how was y'all's day?
I'm floopy.
Ooh, you got the floopy doops?
I'm still yips.
Ah,
But I made a bunch of edibles and I'm getting a good head change, so
Yo.
Yeah. Taking some mind-altering drugs to help you along.
yeah. Get me through the process here.
That's whatever. So just maybe we should.
That's whatever.
Uh-huh. How does your having such a mainstay partner, how does that when you get the floops, are they somebody you can talk to it about, or they just like, shut up, I don't understand what you're talking about? Because I assume it's one of those two things.
I talk. Tamina and I both know about the yips, and we talk to each other pretty thoroughly about the
Mhm.
yips.
They've
I
got a yippee relationship.
She knows I have the yips.
With the yips. So that's a component of your relationship. It's good that your partner embraces that and knows that about you. I guess it's like anything else. Like being, diabetic or Republican.
I am a diabetic Republican and I have the yips. Nice to meet
I
you.
take daily medication for all three, and but I know that it's a lifelong thing that I'm gonna have to deal with.
Being a Republican. What's up with these people? Why are they like that?
I don't know what he's gonna say next, but I know it's gonna be good. Kevin's getting ready to launch into a diatribe. Oh, it's gonna be amusing.
I think what were we on, right? We were
What's
on.
up with these people?
I went dive into something. What were we doing, right?
You had a Mitch McConnell black mark sort of a
Oh yeah,
situation.
there was that question, but then there was also we were doing an accent. What were we? I yelled John.
What?
I remember I said John. You're not gonna say. Tell me. Never mind then. But yeah, I think Mitch McConnell's making Horcruxes.
So there's a lynch involved. Is he the lynch, or
Lynch.
Lynch?
I thought a Horcrux was like the misplaced soul of a evil sorcerer, ergo a lynch or something like that. Is that not what a Horcrux is?
I mean,
Hold on.
that's pretty close.
I guess are you like doing Harry Potter lore on Horcrux, or like D&D Horcrux? What are we talking about? Or just general
Harry
knowledge?
Potter Horcrux. As far as lore goes.
Horcrux. Well, the first thing to come up when you Google Horcrux, this could be on the podcast, you guys. We're using up good material. What is a Horcrux? Remember when we looked up succubi that other time?
Yo.
I'm just recording all this.
It's been a podcast the whole time.
It's been a piggy pod the whole freaking
Always
time.
has been.
Always has been. Well, why don't I see Craig up there? This is.
I don't like the upload on that. This puts a video directly into my unit, and then I can just upload the video.
Craig is trash, let's be honest.
Yeah, it's good. It's good he's not here, because we're gonna about to talk some shit about Craig.
But, so yeah, we're not using up any bad material.
Bad material.
Material.
Oh, my whole body. John?
Sean?
You're fucking me.
John.
You
John?
know exactly what I'm talking about. I said, come on. It wasn't the minor. I was in a southern accent for a very
Here's the
long
thing.
time. I was eating pine nuts and talking in a southern accent. Ryan, for like 5 minutes. There's no way.
Do you have it muted?
What?
Was I there? I was there the whole time.
You were reacting to me.
Ah.
And you said something, and that made me react angrily to John. I said, well, what do you...
Uh-huh.
I'm
Have
sorry.
you ever thought like, do you guys know anybody named John?
I know a couple guys.
Pretty rare American. Like, whenever you refer to them or say their name, just say their name, Juwan, and never admit that you can hear the difference. That is my new challenge to you. Just be like, Juwan? What's up, Juwan? No,
This
it's
is where you
Juwan.
get your
That's what I
kicks.
said. Juwan.
You can see it right there. It's got an H.
Yeah.
And they're like, John? And they're like, yeah, John.
Juwan. And then slowly switch it to Joan, and still don't admit that that's what I've been saying, Joan.
What do you mean? I say Joan all the time.
Yeah, see if you can break someone by doing that.
I don't want to get murdered.
I don't want to get murdered or killed. I prefer to stay alive.
Ugh.
Whenever I think
don't
of something scary, I just think of that Goosebumps game we have on PC. That's the scariest experience I've ever had in my life, I think. I never beat that game. I gotta find that game and beat that game.
I don't know.
Dude, if you can figure it out.
I feel you, but do you?
Oh, that thing was a trick.
What was your thoughts on Mitch McConnell making Horcruxes? Look at his hands.
All right, now I gotta look up Mitch McConnell.
Charles, I want you to give me... Yeah, look up Mitch McConnell's black hands.
Mitch.
I think he's making Horcruxes. Hey, give me your blank expression from seeing his hands.
This is my I'll try to react. Black.
You haven't heard of this?
You haven't seen this?
Oh.
You haven't heard of this?
I'm fucking this up. I'm fucking up this. Okay, Mitch McConnell. Okay, so he's the turtle guy.
Yeah.
For sure.
Black Mitch McConnell, and then I go down and it says hands. This is the Google site. Polls, sick, and then hands is the fourth one down. Clicking on that. Mitch McConnell's hands appears discolored. Clicking on it. Show me a picture. Nope, that's just his face. He does not look good. Face-wise. Just like, I'm not talking about the shape of his face.
Doesn't he look like an evil motherfucker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that is a no. Was that too much? I'm sorry.
Like, yeah, old people have circulation problems and easily bruise. There's so many reasons that his hands could be like that. Like, I mean, as a
He's
lifeguard,
not sold on the Horcrux idea.
I'm not sold. Like, let me tell you, here, as someone who has watched many water aerobics classes in my day, let me tell you that old people have terrifying bodies that often discolor in all sorts of ways, and it's nothing to be alarmed about. Now, somebody asked me why I've watched so many water aerobics classes in my day, because I'm just gonna leave that hanging. Like,
Why have you been?
Why?
Whoa! Right, did you hear aerobics classes in there?
I heard water aerobics.
Specifically, water aerobics classes, of which the median age is up there. It's up there. The average folk
average folks.
And
What?
so
What?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. Why were you doing a lot of that?
Why was I doing it? Because I'm a fan, you know. You know how some people like to go to Little League games. No, this joke has gone too far because I'm a lifeguard. I work morning shifts. Had a swimming pool back in the day, and I would commonly watch all the sweet water aerobics classes.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure they didn't die while you were
Yeah, really living the dream, you guys.
while they were aerobing.
Living the dreamy
Did any of
The
them
dreamy
get
dream?
close to Needon? Did you
Did they
invent?
need?
Did
How many
anybody?
times did you need?
How many times did I? I've never. I never did any rescues on during water aerobics. I certainly.
Wow. Professional aerobics.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. For one
Unbelievable.
thing, for one thing, there's an instructor in there, and they can grab you too. So, luckily, it hasn't had to be.
You're just back up to the backup in case of backups.
Well, mostly I move equipment, and
Mhm.
you know, I operate that chair that like people who have mobility issues, those kinds of things. That's what I did. Why are we talking present tense? This was a while ago. I'm sure it's all different now. They probably don't have lifeguards anymore, just drones.
This underwater drone.
They're dressed as sharks. Keep you on your
Stop
toes.
splashing. You have 7 seconds to comply.
Are you drowning?
Would you like to die? I mean, kill all humans. I mean,
Exterminate. I mean, no running. Yeah.
It doesn't
No
really help.
running,
It
but
just
that's cool.
circles around because it's like made out of metal and like not very flotatious.
Yeah.
So it's swimming around you and just saying, fuck it.
Yeah.
Had something, but I lost
It's just a drone just dragging one of those pool tubes around, you know, those big round, noodly looking things. Or, they're not round, you know what I'm talking about. They're just called tubes.
You really got some ice in that glass there, my man.
Yeah.
Fucking A.
to
Or
me,
whatever's wriggling around there.
Sorry.
Jesus
I'm
Christ.
sorry.
Bang, bang, boom, bang. Fuck. I feel like I'm getting shot at in space.
Are you throwing ice from your cup across the room into another mic'd glass cup? 'Cause that's what it sounds like.
Look, I'm practicing.
Your ice throwing skills?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right.
No, to me.
Do we want to do a little intro thing?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Do you want to do something fancy? Like I say part of it, and then we all do it, and then we say the last part together.
What are we doing? So
Everybody.
so you're gonna say what are we doing, and me and Ryan are gonna say guys.
No,
Oh, there we go.
I say.
Let's try that.
Kevin, we'll split it up even more. We all say guys together, and one person says what, and then are we, and then doing, and then we say guys. I got this big grin on my face. You guys can't see it. But I'm really confused this whole thing.
Okay.
You really need this.
I really need this to work out. So Ryan, since we're gonna lose you the fastest on this, you say what?
I'm already gone, dude.
I'll
I'll say are we, and Kevin will say doing.
Okay.
And then we'll all.
I'm saying doing.
Yeah, you're saying doing. Do you want me to say doing?
No, I'll say doing.
All right. So Ryan, go ahead and start us off.
What?
Are we
Doing, guys. Come on.
That was pretty good.
I thought I did good.
You did good, Ryan. That was good. That's good enough. What are we doing? The podcast where a bunch of dudes are talking shit because they just can't quit. So some people wish they would.
Too legit to quit? I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm
No,
sorry.
that's fine. You just
That's
stomped on
fine.
my tagline that I had thought about.
Fuck!
down.
What?
That's not
It was
true.
the whole thing. I didn't know it was a whole thing.
I didn't write it down. What am I,
Nobody
literate?
told me it was a thing. It's like a real thing.
What am I gonna do with these animations I've been working on, Charles?
These animations? Well, I've been working on my animations. I've been out and about and bummed out with my programs. I'll be looking into that shit.
No, I was saying that was part of the joke. I'm not saying what are you doing with animations. I was saying I was part of the joke that I made some animations based around Ryan saying too legit to quit because he. Never mind.
Oh yeah, because he kept changing.
You're okay, Charles. It's the pine nuts.
Yep. They just changed the whole thing.
They're making me
game
fucking delirious.
Yo.
So, yeah. Pine nuts. Are they really nuts, or are they like peanuts where they're like technically a legume or something like that?
I think these ones are actually pine nuts, yeah.
Ugh. Yeah. So what are we doing, you guys?
What are we doing about what?
Let me see if I've got anything here. Work on our character. Is this anything, character? Is this anything? I've got like a...
I've got a blue turkey. Is this anything?
I got a blue turkey. I got
a blue turkey with a broken leg and a southern accent.
Yeah, I got.
His name is Jahan.
I got Jahan.
Jahan. Is that what you told me to call him?
I said Juwan, but Jahan.
Juwan.
Juwan. Juwan.
Juwan.
Juwana.
Do I have to?
Mm-hmm. I've got soup and stew. What's the difference, and which one is better?
I think they're all just a sandwich, my man.
I've got isn't maroon just purple?
These are the bits. Isn't maroon just purple?
Is cereal cold soup or a wet sandwich?
Hey, I'm going home to have a wet sandwich.
Actually, I like that a lot. That should take me with me. Hey, I'm gonna go eat some dry soup. You want me?
What?
I'm gonna go to Subway and buy a dry soup.
No. My mother told me it's a dry soup.
Going over to Quiznos, get me a dry soup.
You want a sandwich? There better be a lot of water in it.
Better be a lot else. It's now. Yeah. A lot of water. Is a chowder a soup?
What other type of chowders are there?
What makes a chowder a chowder? All right, let's look it up. Take this shit.
Pull up the chowder lore.
Pull up the. We know what. Yeah, I guess. Da-da-da.
Yeah.
Chowder is a powerful object in which dark wizardry or which has a hidden strength of his or her soul for. Oh, sorry, guys. This is the Horcrux thing. My bad. Oh.
So you're saying you don't think Mitch McConnell is fucking making a Horcrux with those hands?
I mean,
Based on prior old person? They're sudden.
Charles has eyeballed a lot of old people.
I'm taking a lot of good long looks at some elderly folks, and let me tell you, I've seen a lot worse than what Mitch McConnell. Although Mitch McConnell, this picture of Mitch McConnell on this article, that's like, why is that? He looks like he's like wearing like pale makeup, like. And if I saw this guy, I'd be like, I'm worried about you, bud.
I think a lot of them.
Yeah, he's got like his around his lips and eyes. He's definitely starting to get that Emperor Palpatine look, which is again like knocking the appearances of someone who's he looks like a sickly old man because he's a what? Sickly old man, like.
Oh.
Which is a biggity bummer. So like, knocking his appearance. Although, I mean, like it. Okay, so it is his sickliness due to use of dark magic, perhaps.
Okay.
Right, but does that justify? Does that justify us criticizing his experience? You know, his appearance? Maybe a little.
Perhaps.
Like,
I think there's an argument there, yeah.
Well, I'll take that.
You're like reading an article, oh, Horcruxes and the Dark Force, often occurring side effects, varicose veins, bruising, discoloration of the skin, weird sharp teeth, receding gums, discoloration of the eye and retina. Oh, hatred and murder of your parents. Noselessness.
Yo.
Yeah, it's all written here. So either you got to stop using the dark side, or expect a couple of side effects. It's just Mitch McConnell and Darth Vader hanging out in a waiting room together, because they go to the same clinic.
Oh yeah, I get it.
Is that anything? Is there anything there?
That is the doctor that treats Mitch McConnell and Senator Palpatine.
Yeah. That's better.
Like, he low-key knows that they're both on the dark side also, playing both sides, but he can't say anything due to HIPAA violations. And he hasn't actually confessed to anything, but he knows. So he can't, like, call the authorities or anything.
I'm calling the authorities.
You're getting the Jedi on the horn?
I wish there was a rogue superhero group I could call.
It's called Dark Side Effects. You get it? Because it's dark side. You know, Dark Side. That guy. Also a DC character, so we got that through line. Nice. Also has some discoloration in skin, so that's all right. Yeah.
The third best discolored skin man is Darkseid.
Third best Hulk looking, like gray skin, purple wearing, evil supervillain. Yeah.
I love me a good looking gray skin.
I like me. His is more, he's got more of that.
I like gray.
Whereas the other ones are like the purple, where he's got some purple stuff.
Yeah,
I'm talking about Thanos and Apocalypse, you know.
Oh, I know.
Absolutely silent. Just the way I like it.
Quiet.
Can't beat it for nothing.
The main difference between soup and stew is found in the primary ingredients. Liquid in soup, and the liquid is the main deliverer of ingredients in the pot. Soup can either be completely liquefied or it can include other elements, such as meat, fish, vegetables. They are fully submerged in broth, water, or stock. Stew, however, is much hardier and thicker than soup. The ingredients are chunkier too, and while the overall dish includes liquid, it contains just enough to cover the main ingredients. So that seems to be a claim that it's textural. I thought it was going to be duration of cooking, whereas stew needs to stew.
Mm.
Oh, look, there's more. Another way to look at it is soup is any combination of ingredients cooked in liquid. Stew is any dish that is prepared by way of stewing. That is submerging ingredients with just enough liquid to cook them, though at a simmer covered in a pot for a long time. So it's like stewing is food that's been stewed, and soup is like liquid with stuff added in. Interessanto.
I guess that makes sense. I'll allow it. What do you think, Kev? I think that's about right.
So does that mean a sandwich is a wet stew?
Depends on the sandwich.
No, I think we're pretty safe to say that like that it's still a soup. It's just a less wet soup. Oh no, you guys!
Stew is a less wet soup.
Is chowder a soup or stew? Here's what the first thing says, which is only Wikipedia. We can go deeper, but this is a real problem here. Chowder is a type of soup or stew, often prepared with thickened broken crackers crushed. Well, that's not satisfactory at all.
It's all over, boys. We cracked the code. Wow. I never would have saw that one coming. What about you, Kev?
Never, ever. 17, chowder versus stew. It looks like, yeah.
Showdown.
All right, Ryan, you might like this. Is cereal a soup or stew?
There we go.
Or wheat that humans consume are traditionally cereal. Soup, on the other hand, is defined as liquid food prepared by boiling. Therefore, soup is anything that extracts flavor from product by letting it soak. So, therefore, soup is anything that extracts flavor from product by letting it soak in broth. In this case, cereal is wheat, and soup is stew. What the fuck? This really cracks it all open. This is.
I think oatmeal is a stew, but a cold cereal is a soup, as long as you don't define soup as, well, I guess, as having to be warm at time of service. You feel me? Is anybody with me on this one?
Yeah, I'd be like, I'm confused by what is written here, and that fucking our listeners are gonna be devastated that I don't know the answer to this.
Fucking hell, man. Charles, I'm on the edge of my seat over here.
You need to figure this one out, dog.
I am palpitating and stressed out.
He's palpitating.
About this.
And he's stressed out.
And my chowder. God, I don't even know what I'm making out there anymore.
What is he making? No one knows.
Is it chowder? Is it soup? Is it stew?
No one knows.
Depends on the meat, they say. No, depends on the veggies, they say. No, it depends on viscosity. Like, fuck you, man.
Viscosity.
I mean, so essentially they're saying because you're not boiling it, it's not soup. But they recharacterize soup as something that you boil, but they also add an innocuous saying that soup is stew, as opposed to saying that stew is soup, which is an interesting thing to say. I mean, there could be a boiling involved in the stewing process, but I don't know. I think it has to do with the ratio, right? Ugh. Well,
Well, back to the drawing board, boys. Huh. Interesting.
well, that got us distracted from the chowder question, which
It
is
depends on who your authority is, I think.
I need to know exactly. So, no, I just forget it.
What?
what?
Just forget. All right, just forget.
Forget it? Why should we forget
what?
it?
What?
You got something on your heart. Let it out.
It's on his heart. He needs to let it out.
So, what broth?
Yeah. Bone broth?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
I know. I taught you everything you know.
What about just water with a couple of bones in it?
Ooh. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
What is that? Is that a chowder?
And a chowder. Ooh.
What are you talking? How do you usually make broth? Broth comes from cooking the bone.
What is broth?
It's definition of broth. What makes broth broth? Let's take a look.
Is broth a soup, stew, chowder?
Broth is different from stock because it's made by mainly simmering meat and bones, sometimes roasted, sometimes not, with herbs and mirepoix. A mix of mirepoix, which is a mirepoix, which is a mix of
Mirepoix.
It's Mirepoix. I've never seen it before, but apparently. How do you say it?
Mirepoix. It's French. It's like
Mirepoix.
celery, onions, and carrots, and you make them. Yeah,
So it's
mirepoix. Like a
essentially the
mirepoix.
stuff that goes into starch. Okay. See, I'm learning something. Mirepoix. Okay. And it's spelled true blue French. There we go. For the last time. It's a bit more subtle tasting and has more fresh seasoning. So yeah, like what's not uncommon is like in my house when we would make broth, you just put like we'd have a chicken for dinner or something the night before, and then we take whatever was left over and just chuck it in the pot. And sometimes it would be maybe a couple meat scraps, but mostly bones.
Yeah.
And then you just kind of put a certain amount of water and it just cooks them there, and that's what makes it broth. And it sounds like that's pretty. So what is the other option?
Chowder.
Well, chowder is made with broth, isn't it? And then you add milk, right? I mean, a lot of the time people use people can make it with a base of some kind.
What's bouillon?
Isn't bouillon concentrated chicken stock by which to make broth? It's like Kool-Aid is juice. It's like bouillon. I'm sure this is intriguing to everybody. Bouillon.
We're a cooking show.
We're a cooking show now, you guys.
Duh. Mirepoix. Mirepoix.
I feel like that peanut butter bar really kind of tore up my mouth.
Came here, that's what I saw.
Nah.
Mirepoix.
Mirepoix. Mirepoix.
Mirepoix, sir. It's always that same guy.
Hello. So, or did Reginald fetch me the Mirepoix?
Very good, sir.
He sounds sick.
I'm very sickly.
I am very
I'm quite
ill.
I am very ill. I have all the decolorations of someone who frequents water aerobics.
I've heard those to be very ill.
Very ill indeed, and with some great commonality, I would say. Fellow elderly person hanging out in my smoking room.
Very good, sir.
Listen.
I've been warned by my doctor to be using the dark force a little less, but I don't listen to him, the old quack. He keeps calling me Juwan.
Juwan. If you ever meet John Oliver, are you gonna do that to him?
No. Are you insane?
Are you absolutely mad?
Was you mad? Are you mad?
Are you mad?
Are you angry with me?
I mean,
Are you angry with me?
Are you angry with me?
Can you?
I'm super happy with you. But...
Would you please like to smell this?
It was so out of left field. I was like, if someone's really upset with you, that's your. I like to throw them off, you know. Someone's really.
Oh yeah, smell this.
Oh yeah, well take a whiff of this.
Oh,
How's
yeah.
that smell?
Fucking smell this. Smell my pits.
Or it's just something completely benign. You're just like, well, I can tell you're upset with me, but first, smell this. Scented marker. What do you think?
That's how I get out of fights all the time.
It's
Oh,
supposed
man.
to be great, but
Look, I know you're mad, but I think Millie needs a bath. Come smell her. It works every time. Isn't she cute? And then he started. Yeah.
smell this. Yeah, that's the best way out of conflict. Is just try to engage their oral back.
Yeah.
To get the,
Always have a nice pie on hand.
what's this? Well, I know you're mad, but just take a whiff of these cookies.
Look, I'm sorry. I made you a blackberry pie.
Well, I guess it could just be like, is it more of that it's like such a good smell, or is it more of you just trying to disorient them by getting them to smell something?
Yeah, it could be anything because more people are more attracted to smelling something bad. If you,
Sure.
if you say, Jesus Christ, come smell this, they're like, all right. But you're like, oh, wow, these roses are nice. Come smell them. It's like, fuck, man, I've smelled flowers before. You know, that's an old comedy bit. I forgot who did it. I've seen it though. If you do it with the comedy bit that if you tell them it stinks, they'll come and smell it. Oh, whoa!
That has to be a pretty universal kind of joke. Yeah, I think Dimitri Martin has something like that. He's like, of someone like, like if you see someone like smell their finger and like kind of look at it like, what is that? Like it's never good. Like the reason that they're doing that.
Ooh, like, oh god.
Here, does this smell human to you? Like whatever it is. It's a solid bit. It's a solid bit. the concept of like being upset with somebody though, I feel like that's kind of fresh, trying to disorient them. Just be like, do you smell a burning tire? Like, do you smell?
And then have something that can easily smell like a burning tire.
I guess that's the thing. Somebody
Smell
starts
like
in on you,
rubber
like,
in here?
I'm upset with you. You have a complete lack of accountability. You keep calling me Juwan, and then you're just like,
You pop your little thing and
wait,
say,
and then
whoa,
you
whoa,
run
whoa,
into the other
whoa.
room.
Does it smell weird in
Set
here?
a tire on fire. You're just
Actually, I think that
You-
it works in any situation. It's like,
Hey,
whoa.
come here and smell this.
Wait, does it smell weird in here? Because then everybody's worried about like carbon monoxide and shit. You
Right.
know?
Right, so
And
it
then
doesn't-
everybody just stops and starts sniffing. That's when you sprint away.
Yeah,
Duck
Yes.
out while everybody's got a nose up.
just be like, hey, does that smell like sulfur? Or
Whoa, wait a minute. Does it smell weird? Or just start sniffing really hard and like,
Hey, do you smell gas?
do you smell
Oh,
that?
shit.
No. And then, yeah, of course, somebody fucking placebos it. And they're like, yeah, I think I smell it over here. It's like under under their personal desk. And then you just walk away from the
Right over
situation.
here,
yeah, no, that's I think we're coming up with a real flawless way to get out of judge you guys. I don't think that there's any downside to this whatsoever, and everyone would totally buy it. Ugh.
And we find the defendant. Wait, hold on. You guys smell that?
That's your defense lawyer's like last ditch option. Like, wait. Does the court smell something? What are you talking about? I mean, do you guys? No, this is serious. I'm serious, you guys. Do you smell something?
I smell
Just let him-
gas. I don't smell gas.
Counselor, let him deliver his. What are they called at the end of sentence? Well, it's like, no, wait, but let's figure this out first. I think I smell something.
The
You,
judge.
the Muppet in the back row, be quiet.
Wait a minute. I think I smell something too. The judge.
Wait, I do think I smell something.
For saving our lives from carbon monoxide poisoning, you are free.
Yes! You are not guilty of being a serial killer.
Haha. I knew I could tell him I didn't do it.
I mean, isn't that a thing, like, where, isn't that on the sociopath test or something? Like, you don't have good as a sense of smell or something like that? There's something about that.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I don't know. Let me look that up. Sociopath.
You know, I heard that serial killers can't smell real good. Is that what we're saying here?
Yep. Totally. It's as absurd as it sounds.
Hey, yo.
Is that what we're presenting today? I gotta make something big to eat tonight, boys. I think I gotta. After this is over, I'm gonna make a big old fucking tortellini dinner.
Oh,
Big old little cheese tortellinis with some white sauce and maybe some. Oh yeah, I'm gonna put some chicken in the oven.
he's like whispering it in. Put some chicken in the oven. Some delicious chicken.
It's gonna
Be great.
And then I'm gonna cut that chicken up and sprinkle a little garlic all over it, like way too much garlic.
Okay. So,
Somebody's gonna be like, ew, that's too much
So-
garlic.
according to Science Daily, which who knows, fuck it, like, and this is about psychopaths. So excuse me, I said sociopaths. So this is slightly different. But a new study suggests that a poor sense of smell may be a marker for psychopathic traits. People with a psychopathic tendency have an impaired sense of smell, which points to inefficient processing in the front part of the brain. These findings by Mohammed Mahomet, I'm really sorry, I'm going to butcher this name, Mohammed Mahomet, Mehmet on the first name and Mahmet on the last, and Richard Stevenson. Those two guys hanging out. One guy, the other guy has the most common name in the world, from Marquis University in Australia, are published online in Springs Journal Chemosensory Perception. All right, so I'm dumb. I don't know these words. But psychopathy is a broad term that covers a severe personality disorder characterized by callousness, manipulation, sensation seeking, and antisocial behaviors, traits which may also be found in otherwise healthy and functioning people. Studies have shown that people with psychopathic traits have impaired functioning in the front part of the brain. This area largely responsible for the functions such as planning, impulse control, and acting in accordance with social norms. In addition, a dysfunction in the areas in the front part of the brain is linked to impaired sense of smell. Boom.
Wow.
What I said was vaguely associated to something that might be true. Success!
I'm with it. That's good.
Boom,
News to
boom,
me.
boom, you're the greatest child. Boom, boom, I love you. Sorry.
Yeah, that was
Sorry.
chemosensory perception was the but Springer's Journal.
Let me show you my Springer's journal.
Was what I was trying to say before that. Butchered.
Come on, girl, I'm pushing rope. Oh, let me show you my Springer's journal.
And I think that name is pronounced Mammoth Mahmood, which I really apologize. It's a tough one for me. It's hard for me to read.
Should have got a mammoth.
But that's pretty cool.
Interesting.
Which I wonder how the studies work.
So you're saying...
So you're going for a study and you're getting psychologically assessed, and they're like, smell this? And you're like, mm-hmm. And smell this? Mm-hmm. And smell... Oh, fuck! What the fuck is that? Oh! Okay, well, on a degree from 1 to 6, what does that smell like? What do you mean, how does that smell like? Degree, what? It smells like a 4. What are you talking about? Sir, if you're not going to take the study seriously. All right. Is that anything? I don't know where.
So you're saying a serial killer...
I was expecting one of you guys to hop in somewhere.
I love the idea of... Hey, all right, smell this? Mm-hmm. Okay, smell this? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, and smell this? Mm-hmm. Okay, do you happen to be a serial killer?
That's how he figures it out.
And he's just like, okay, smell this? Oh, yeah, go ahead, take your time, think about that. Smell this? Mm-hmm.
Is that what he just answers? Is like, and are you a serial killer? Mm-hmm. Okay, smell this?
It's no problem at all.
What do you think about that?
So you're saying a serial killer couldn't smell chowder, which ended up being stew?
Probably couldn't tell the difference between chowder and stew by smell for sure.
Whoa.
So I don't know. Maybe if you are hanging out with some folks and you're like, you do actually for realsies notice a smell, and you're like, hey, did you smell something? And they're like, nope. And you should be concerned, maybe.
Ooh. Okay. Gotcha.
Because like,
Do you smell that chowder? No, I do not.
That's
Ooh,
what I really
yeah.
want to start propagating as reasons for people to be suspicious and afraid of other people. That's what I'm really trying to get going.
Oh,
That's what I'm trying to.
It's
well, you're doing a
important.
good job, cuz.
It's important to be afraid of things.
Yeah, we've got
It's
Mitch
important to
McConnell
break. Oh my lord!
using the dark force and people who can't smell, man. That frontal cortex stuff is fascinating, though. There's a lot of shit going on in that front cortex.
My front course sucks.
It's not feel. Do you feel?
Fine.
You think my front lobes are fine? What about my back lobes?
Well, how are you doing on your callousness, manipulation, sensory seeking, and antisocial behavior traits? You feeling like those are
Sensory seeking?
sensor? Yeah, I think if I'm reading that right, let me double. Let me just.
What does that mean?
My dyslexia may be flaring up here. Yep, sensation seeking. And
I see. Everybody seeks sensations.
yeah, but you're like sensation seeking. Do you want me to look that? Okay, sensation seeking by sociopaths.
What do you mean I'm
Yeah.
sensation seeking? So because I want to fucking take a shower? That's
Want
a,
to take a shower.
I do like the water run. Is it? Hey, is it?
Hey.
Is it taking like 3 extra minutes to let the water run?
Yeah, that's it. You're right.
You're a
That's,
serial killer.
yep, it does.
Yeah, but
Not on the news. Also, you have to have a schnauzmia.
well, now that I don't smoke, I
Relationship
can smoke
between-
pretty good actually, especially when it comes to weed.
Large psychologist. The relationship between sensation seeking and psychopathy, a description. Psychopathy has many implications for society at large. The individuals are likely to commit violent crimes, manifest other antisocial behaviors, and make up a large portion of the prison population. What is this article? This study aims to establish a relationship between sensation seeking psychology and deception. Deception?
That's
Yeah.
not telling me what sensation seeking is. Is it just a fucking buzzword
Oh.
that means nothing?
Oh, I'm looking at it. Here we go.
Because everybody is sensation seeking. What do you mean to find a sensation?
Well, like, what's the difference between just being like, oh, I like to pet cats and take warm baths, and actually being like, I like those things and I want to feel someone else's skin on, like, taken off their body and on my skin type thing? What's the difference between those things?
Is that the sensation seeking they're talking
Is
about?
that what they're talking about? Is what I'm wondering, or is it?
I'm trying to find a good definition here.
And yeah,
Sensation seeking scale, a correlation.
but now that you're talking about wearing somebody else's skin, I've never actually thought about it.
Great, Charles.
You're like, but that sounds wonderful.
We promised never to bring up other human skin. We knew
Okay.
it'd get interesting.
I'm trying to find like something succinct where I'm not going to have to read like a whole journal essay. Like, so psychopathic and sensation. This is just a random article, by the way. It could have been written by an 8-year-old. So for all I know, however, it does use the word psychopathic, and most 8-year-olds don't know how to spell that word, I'm guessing. Did you know how to spell psychopathic when you were?
I knew how to use autocorrect.
Google
Well,
did.
Well, fuck. Then everything on the internet could be written by 8-year-olds. Psychopathic and sensation-seeking traits. This is by Casey S. Hawaii, Old Dominion University, and it was
Old Dominion.
Old Dominion University, 2014. What the fuck? Anyway, let's just see if there's even a vague description about what we're talking about here. Psychopathy sensation treatments are often correlated. However, sensation seeking alone is not inherently pathological. Excuse me. The study seeks to investigate possible modern variables between individuals who are high on sensation seeking but low on measures of psychopathic or antisocial traits. Oh man, this is like a book. It's like a huge fucking one.
Here we go. I'm digging in on this. What is sensation?
What are the signs of what are the signs of a psychopathic child? Superficially charming. Whoa, I was charming as a kid. I had characteristics like my mom would be like, Charles,
Alright.
smell this.
Okay.
Sensation seeking can be divided into 4 traits: thrill and adventure seeking, desire for outdoor activities involving unusual sensations and risks such as skydiving, scuba diving, high speed driving, and flying, experience seeking, referring to new sensory or mental experiences through unconventional choices such as using psychedelic experiences, social nonconformity, and desire to associate with unconventional people, disinhibition, preference of out-of-control activities such as wild parties, drinking, and illegal activities, and boredom susceptibility, intolerance of repetition or boring people, and restlessness in such conditions. All 4 of these traits are sensation-seeking behaviors.
That's kind of what I thought. Is that what you thought it meant? That's kind of what I was thinking it meant. It meant that you're they're seeking thrills to a certain degree. It's not they're looking, they're trying to feel something. Those things that essentially like kind of on the scale, they tend to go for the extremes of things. That's what I kind of presumed, but I was trying to find an article that said it, and it sounds like. How do you feel about that? Do you think you're how's your sense of smell, Kevin? I guess is what I'm getting at. And were you charming as a child?
A very.
Okay, let's go through a couple of things. Do you?
Wasn't I right? I was on fire in 5th grade. Tell you what.
Boy. Here we go.
Are you capable of feeling guilt and remorse, or were you as a child?
Very low amounts.
Very low amounts. Okay. Are you? What? This is so weird. Like, were you fascinated about certain things? Were you over fixated, very like intensely fixated on just certain aspects of your life? That's a shitty question. Did you have a short temper? This is just describing a child. That's what a child is like.
I didn't have a short temper.
About certain things, and they have short tempers. Maybe all children are sociopaths.
I didn't have a short temper as a child.
Were you insensitive to punishment?
No, I liked
it. So you were a little masochist. I mean, this isn't funny, but I'm imagining a little Kevin just like with a leather vest, just walking around. Yeah, that's. I mean, that joke only goes face value, and then you gotta scrap it real quick. Lack of empathy. Did you feel a certain lack of empathy for?
I don't have any empathy for anybody. I could kill
right.
all humans if it was up to me.
Well, I'm no psychologist, but I feel pretty confident to say that you probably are. You know, probably are.
Diagnosis right now.
Yeah, probably.
I'm a psychopath.
Yeah.
Just casual about it.
Yeah, probably like. Probably a psychopath.
Huh. What do you know about that?
Been worse.
We figured it out. We kind of, it's not that we really came up with any concrete answers, but we had some valuable discussions about soup and
We
Mitch
diagnosed
McConnell and
my psychopath.
and Kevin.
So, but you could just be a regular psychopath, right? There's plenty of psychopaths out there that are just
That's what I want to be.
hanging. Yeah,
Just a good old.
a
good old
regular.
folk.
Just a regular old.
Yeah, he's quirky. They say he's quirky.
Always kept to himself. That's always my favorite thing to say about these people.
He always kept to himself. Well, of course he did.
He's a psychopath, man.
He's fucking planning murder. What do you think he's gonna do? Go out blabbing around about it? That was a good one.
Hooting and hollering about that shit. God. What kind of a shitty ass psychopath are you? God.
But yeah, isn't that a normal thing? Like John Lennon was a psychopath, they would say. Is that something I've heard?
Was John Lennon a psychopath or was he a sociopath?
I think he was a Marxist.
Sure. That's a socialist.
Okay.
Yeah, like
Well, wasn't he?
was he a Marxist or was he a psychopath? Was John Lennon a psychopath? Is that our next look?
I'm looking it up.
Yeah, that's the take.
Was John Lennon a psychopath? Was John Lennon a sociopath? Second. 10
There you
unpleasant facts about John Lennon. We'll run
Oh, he was
that.
a communist.
And John Lennon's killer says he had a true sociopathic mind. John Lennon's
Well,
dark
John
side.
Lennon's killer, not John Lennon, right?
Okay, was
You
John
tell him, man,
Lennon.
you learn about him.
So here is was John Lennon a sociopath? And here's an answer from Brad Merstick, Director of Finance Accounting at J&P Cycles. And he answered
All right.
May 10th,
Come on,
2019.
Brad.
You want to hear this? All right.
It sounds like a qualified.
Brad says, I don't think so. He was a human and had insecurities like we all do. He was prone to mood swings like many of us, and he grew up with feelings of hurt and sometimes anger when he realized that both of his parents pretty much abandoned him. His Aunt Mimi doted after him and gave him a good home, but she probably wasn't very affectionate. And we all need affection in our lives. When he met Paul and realized his dream was to be a musician, it gave his life some much-needed direction and a true best friend to lean on. They absolutely worked their asses off to make it to the top of the mountain, and John felt, at the times, like they had to sell out to make it to the top. So there was some bitterness at times, but he was also happy to now be rich and secure. Long story short, yes, he did have some insecurities and issues growing up like many of us do. Where John's story is different than the rest of us is the way in which the Beatles were placed in this glass bowl with no true privacy for the rest of their lives. George once said, the Beatles gave up their nervous system in being Beatles. All the drugs certainly didn't help the situation, and John always seemed to take more than the others. At some point in the mid-late 70s, he got his life straightened out, and Sean's birth gave him direction and helped focus his priorities, like becoming a parent does for most of us. I think John got through all the turmoil in his life just fine and was much wiser by the time he reached 40. It's a shame he was taken from us so early. I think he had plenty more wit and wisdom to share with the world. If you haven't seen the movie Nowhere, boy, please do so. It sheds a lot of light on Jim's grown-up pains. This dude watched this movie and then came on here and trying to put together a word salad. This is like, oh man.
Whoa.
Whoa.
So here we go. 10 unpleasant facts of narcissists about John Lennon. Or 10, no. Psychopaths and narcissist survivors support group. Celebrity narcissists. 10 bad facts about John Lennon.
I was reading that, like, these people, like, I don't know, they seem a little bit, this list is a little bit, I don't know, doesn't look super like the person writing it. They have some political views about it. they're like that he was politically clueless, and then they criticized that he gave money to the Black Panthers.
I don't know.
But, you know, different stuff.
So yeah, there's a couple, some successful psychopaths.
Successful psychopaths.
How do people develop into successful psychopaths? What makes a successful psychopath? Famous psychopaths today. The most famous psychopaths in history. Ed Gein, Norman Bates. Oh, based off Ed Gein. Ew, this guy's gross.
Actually, yeah. I'm still looking at this list of politically clueless thing about John Lennon. I actually don't know what they're saying, so I probably shouldn't hack it one way or the other. But they seem to be critical of the Black Panthers, which, you know, as a movement, that's very important. That it's been necessary to a necessary part of American history, as far as I understand it. People to protect themselves.
Oh, here's one. Learn why psychopaths are more likely to take their coffee black.
Shoot, yeah. Where you were going was better than where I was going. I was like, oh, I have to look into the Black Panthers. Which I should, and I will, but I'm not going to do it on right now.
When did we start?
We started just about at 9.
Oh, we had a rolling start at 9.
Yeah.
And then I started recording about 9:10 or so.
Yeah.
Alright.
Alright. Cool, man.
You want to hear about some famous serial killers?
Yeah.
What about, you ever heard of... So you heard of the big three, right? Ed Gein.
Ed Gein.
I've
never heard of Ed.
Good guy.
Look, Norman Bates, Leatherface, and Buffalo Bill are the three most iconic fictional horror characters of all time, and they're all loosely based on one man, Ed Gein, also known as the Butcher of Plainfield. Gein collected women's bodies through grave robbing and murder from around 1945 to 57, when he was finally caught. He used the women's remains to decorate his isolated Wisconsin farm and to make various items of clothing. Gein passed away in 1984 in a mental institution. Read how this man dealt with the discovery that one of his relatives was a murderer. Then everybody's heard of Charles Manson, Ted Bundy. Regulars.
What about like John Wayne Gacy kind of a character? All them 3-name motherfuckers.
How about Albert DeSalvo, aka the Boston Strangler?
There we go. Now we're talking about some real psychopaths.
Albert DeSalvo is a serial murderer who killed women by strangulation, many times using a simple ruse to get through their front doors, according to the Boston Globe. Why does it say that? According to the Boston Globe, that's how he did it. So I don't know. At an early age, he would torture animals. One of the classic warning signs of a psychopath. His extreme misogyny increased as he got older and had difficult relationships with the female figures in his life. DeSalvo ended up being stabbed to death in prison in 1973. All these guys also get killed, it seems like. Jeffrey Dahmer, everybody's heard of that guy. The Zodiac Killer, nothing special. Vlad the Impaler, that's a classic.
That's a classic psychopath right there.
How about Dennis Rader, aka the BTK Killer? Bind, torture, kill. That's what Dennis Rader was known for.
Good old Dennis Rader, huh? Wow.
Well, what do you think, boys?
Dennis Rader
Charles is gone. He's mad.
No, I was honestly just rethinking. I was like, oh man, I mentioned the Black Panthers. It's such a politically, like, my brain has just been like, oh, my brain's like,
Charles has lost it, folks.
yeah.
It's nice knowing y'all.
Been like, oh, like there's a lot of complex issues that apply to that are worth talking about. Did I say anything wrong and everything like that? And I almost certainly did. And that's how my brain works. And I was like, but maybe now isn't the time to unpack it. So I was just like, oh. So, because I was reading that book, So You Want to Talk About Race, earlier today. So I have a lot of all these red flag type stuff in my head right now. So, but
Nice.
but I'm in a process of whatever. So if I did say anything out, I'm working on it. So that's why my brain has been like, oh, should I correct anything? Do I need to mark something to be cut out? But I think it's okay. Hopefully that's where my brain was. Sorry, you guys. But I've also looked up this Ed guy, and there's also a band, I think named after him. Did you see that too, Kev?
A band?
Yeah, that's what came up first for me when I put in Ed Guy.
Was it heavy metal?
Of course it was, right? I actually don't know. That's pretty
Real original.
Ed Guy. They were formed in 1992.
Wasn't a new way to kill somebody, right?
Right.
Waterboard them with alcohol.
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 Alka-Seltzer. Ooh, get him with the Alka-Seltzer.
Oh my god, I need an Alka-Seltzer right now.
Oh.
Sir, do you have an Alka-Seltzer?
Waterboard him with
some Alka-Seltzer for you, some more.
Very good, son.
Alright, well, if we want to do some sort of outro thing, and then I can edit this all together.
All right. This has been What Are We Doing, Guys? And I'm not even still sure what we actually did. And maybe you can tune in next time to help us figure all this out. We talked about soup and stew, serial killers, sociopaths, and
psychopaths. I'm a psychopath.
Yeah, we figured it out because Kevin can't smell anything.
I never said I can smell fine.
And he is a madman for seeking out sensations. He likes to take baths and pet kittens.
Long showers.
He likes long showers. That's number one on the list.
And dog cuddles. Dog toddler.
And wearing human skin.
Cuddle dogs. And
But I did think
Wearing
about
lipstick.
human skin.
oh, like you ever just
You guys
ever
think
just-
about it, like, doesn't it? Like, you know, there couldn't be much things that are warmer.
you know how you're just like people watching, you know, at the park or water aerobics, and you're just like,
Every
they would
time.
make they would make a great little number for they would be like a great top or a little cardigan. Put that on.
Yeah,
Feel that.
let me see that.
Let me see that. Let me look at it.
Put that on. Dance
Wear it.
around.
Wear it. Wear it right now.
You're
Hey.
wearing it around.
Yeah, are you dancing?
All right.
Dancer. You are we all thinking of the same thing? We're all thinking about that scene from fucking Silence of the Lambs where Buffalo's Bill's like all like I fuck you like all that kind of thing. He totally would have fucked himself. He didn't even need that lady's skin.
No,
He
it didn't.
fucking didn't need to go through all that. Put the lotion in the baskets. Hoo ha. He would have fucked himself already. That's
And with that,
and that's the lesson we learned.